Hello everyone. Today class number 19 for electrical machine 2. Class number 19 for electrical machine 2. Okay. So today I will discuss the induction motor test. So do some heading induction motor test. Induction motor test, right? So right, there are 5 tests are there for induction motor. So there are 5 tests for induction motor. First one, right, stator resistance test. Stator resistance test. Second one, right, no load test. Third one, voltage ratio test. Fourth one, block rotor test. And fifth, that is last one, heat run test. Okay. So all these 5 tests belongs to this induction motor tests. Okay. So first, write stator resistance test. So make some heading, stator resistance test. DC supply is given, right? DC supply is given to the 2 phases of the 3-phase input conductors. That is, if we consider it is a stator of a 3-phase, it is a stator of a 3-phase induction motor. So in between these 3 phases, we have to put a DC source, VDC, in between any 2 phases of a given inputs. Okay. So DC supply is given to the 2 phases of the 3-phase input conductors. It gives a current in that 2 conductors. So that is, it produces the current in between these 2 conductors. Okay. By calculating VDC by IDC, we get the series equivalency of the 2 phases. So suppose I am connecting an ammeter to measure this current, and connecting a voltmeter to measure the voltage, that is V equals to VDC, and ammeter reads I equals to IDC. Okay. So now in third point, right, we have to calculate VDC by IDC. We have to calculate VDC by IDC. Okay. This is called series equivalency of these 2 phases. Series equivalency of these 2 phases. Therefore, right, by dividing this above quantity with 2, dividing the above quantity by 2, we get the resistance per phase. We get the resistance, so it is the RPH into 2, because as we consider it is a balanced condition. It is in balanced condition. So suppose we are taking it is R phase, it is another R phase. So it will in series circuit, right? R phase plus R phase, that will be R phase into 2. So by dividing by 2, we can get the RPH. Okay, we can get the phase resistance. Okay, resistance per phase. We can also find the 3 combination series equivalency. We can also find the 3 combination of equivalency and getting the average value of each phase, and getting the average value of each phase. Suppose we are applying the VDC over here and get RPH1, and applying the VDC over here, instead of it we can calculate RPH2. And now if we connect this in between these 2 phases, then we are calculating RPH3. So now if we add and divide by 3, then you can get the RPH average resistance per phase. Okay, but this value is for DC. Always remember, but this value is for DC, and we know that the DC, we know that the AC the resistance is higher than that of the DC value. So for AC value, the resistance is higher than that of the DC value. So we have to multiply with RPH average multiplied by, suppose RPH average dash, it is RPH average into 1.25 to get the actual resistance per phase for AC. So actual resistance per phase for AC will be equals to RPH average dash into 1.25. This 1.25 is a multiplier which is used to convert the DC value to the corresponding AC value. Okay, so this is all about of your stator resistance test concept. So by using stator resistance test, we can calculate the series resistance of the stator per phase. So we can calculate by using this one, series resistance per phase of stator circuit, okay. So this is your stator resistance test. Okay, so now I will move into the no load test, so which is very much important. In your practical also there is a no load test, right? So no load test you have to perform, so which is very much important. So now I will move into the no load test. So it is used to find, right, it is used to find the no load parameters. It is used to find the no load parameters, that is the components of the primary side of equivalent circuit. That is the component of the primary side of the equivalent circuit. So what are the primary side of the equivalent circuit? It will looks like, okay, this is the primary side, right? So this is your VO, open circuit voltage. Okay, so this is your R1, this is X1, and this is XM, and this is RE. Okay, suppose I1 current is entering. So here per phase voltage, that is Vs by root 3 is given, right? So per phase voltage, that is Vs by root 3 is given. So it from here no current will flow, that is I naught. Total current is transferring from here. Okay, so now write IL naught. First, before analysis of it, we have to denoting some parameters. So IL naught equals to no load current, line current, no load line current, no load line current. Okay, next one, R1, stator resistance per phase, and X1 equals to stator reactance per phase. Okay, and Xm equals to no load magnetizing reactance, suppose Xm naught, okay, no load magnetizing reactance, and Re naught no load resistance, no load loss resistance, no load magnetizing reactance, no load core loss resistance, no load core loss resistance. Okay, and Im, so this is divided by Im and IE. So Im equals to no load magnetizing current, and IE equals to no load core current. Okay, no load core current. Okay, so now what will be the formula you have to remember? So you have to remember some important formula from this concept, from this no load test. There is a numerical. Okay, there is a numerical. Okay, so now write no load phase current. So write point to point, no load phase current first. What is no load phase current? No load phase current I naught equals to IL naught by root 3. No load phase current IL naught by root 3. Whatever the line current divided by root 3. Okay, so stator copper loss. Next one, stator copper loss. Stator copper loss PCU equals to 3. This I naught square into R1. Okay, and third one, no load power factor. No load power factor equals to cos phi naught equals to cos pi naught equals to PL PL naught by or PL by 3 I naught V. Okay, 3 I naught V. So right, where total stator core loss PI total. So this is total stator core loss. PL equals to, right, total stator core loss. So this PL can be written P naught equals to P naught minus PC minus P windage friction loss. That is P naught minus PCU minus PWF. Okay, which are given to you, which will be given. So P naught is given, total power, rating power or output power, and PC equals to the copper loss, that is this one, and windage friction loss is also given to you. Okay, so third formula will be this one. And fourth formula, energy component of load current. Energy component of load current, that is equals to, that will be equals to IE, energy component of load current, that is the IE, this current. Okay, core loss resistance, current through the core loss resistance. IL naught cos phi naught, and IM equals to IL naught sin phi naught. Okay, from this concept you can calculate phi cos phi naught, then easily calculate sin phi naught and put it over here, and you can get IE and IM. Okay, these components you can easily find. Okay, so next one, no load resistance. No load core loss resistance. No load core loss resistance, that is RE naught equals to V by IE. Okay, V by IE, whatever the IE, it will be put over here. And next, energy component of load phase current, or that is I naught cos phi naught. Energy component of no load phase current, that is I E equals to I naught cos phi naught, and similarly IM equals to I, that is the magnetizing component, I naught sin phi naught, I naught sin phi naught. Okay, I equals to I naught cos phi naught, and IM equals to I naught sin phi naught. Okay, that is x naught can be calculated V by this IM, V by this IM. So the x or xm naught should be calculated V by IM. So this component, this component, this component, this component, and this component, this component, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. These 7 components are the no load parameters. These 7 components are called the no load parameters. So you have to calculate it. Okay, by using this formula step by step. So whatever. What is the step I have followed over here, so please follow these steps one by one, and you can get the answer one by one. Okay, so in your numerical part I will clear how to solve this type of problem regarding this no load test component. Okay, so next one is voltage ratio test. So what is voltage ratio test? Right, this test can only be done for wound rotor motor. So this test is only be done for wound rotor motor. This test is only be done for wound rotor motor. It is used to determine the voltage ratio of the rotor to stator. It is used to determine the voltage ratio of rotor to stator. For this test, rotor is kept open and make it stand still. So rotor is kept open and make it stand still, that is no rotation takes place. Okay, then the voltage appear across the rotor conductor, then the voltage appear across the rotor conductor, which will be measured by the voltmeter, and the finding of the voltage ratio can be done. That is, it is a stator, and after stator it will be the rotor part. It is rotor. Suppose this is stator and this is rotor. Okay, So the rotor side is kept open, that is no load test will be taken. There is no load is taking. Okay, so there is the rotor is kept open and make it stand still, so there is no rotation. Okay, then what will be the voltage across the rotor terminals? What will be the voltage across rotor terminal? It should be noted it, and the phase voltage in inside one, that is VPH by V naught. So V naught by VPH should be the voltage ratio test. The voltage ratio test determine the voltage ratio between V naught to VPH. Okay, so this is done only for wound rotor test. Okay, wound rotor test. So now I will move into the block rotor test. So block rotor test means what? So it is used to find the short circuit components of the three-phase induction motor. It is used to find the short circuit component of the induction motor, and the short circuit when the short circuit components is finding, then the equivalent circuit of the motor will looks like Vs by root 3 is a per phase voltage over here. That will be R1, this is X1, and the current is Is, and here the current is I0 is flowing through this X0, and here R2 by K square and X2 by K square. This is the referred to the primary side. The equivalent circuit referred to primary side. Okay, and this is short circuit, that is ISC current is flowing. Okay, so you have to write line current first. So line current equals to what? Line current equals to ILS. Okay, line current equals to ILS. And the short circuit test, line voltage applied per phase, line voltage applied per phase equals to Vs. Therefore phase voltage applied equals to Vs by root 3, and the line current is ILS and phase current is also ILS. Okay, so power factor you have to first find. You have to first find the power factor cos phi s. That will be equals to PS by 3VIS, which is PS is given to you, and for this block rotor test PS is given and IS is also given. So just make a ratio with multiplied by 3V or 3VS, you can get the power factor first. Okay, first you have to find the power factor, then equivalent impedance. So the equivalent impedance Z01 equals to VS by IS. Okay, so then equivalent resistance. Equivalent resistance RO1 equals to, you have to find PS by 3IS square. 3IS square. Okay, so next one you have to short circuit. Next, XO1 equals to root over of Z01 square plus RO1 square. Okay, so you have to use this formula step by step to find the answer. Okay, and finally the short circuit current ISC can be calculated by using the formula IS into V by Vs. V by Vs. Okay, so this is all about for block rotor test. I will perform a numerical regarding this block rotor test also. Okay, the numericals is done for no load test and block rotor test will be done. So please wait for the next classes. And now only one thing is left, that is heat run test. Okay, so that is heat run test. So what is heat run test? Right, it is used to test the insulation capability. It is used to test the insulation capability of the conductors over the temperature. Okay, that is at how much temperature it will resist itself or withstand itself. The conductor can withstand itself. Okay, so heat run test is nothing but the amount of heat will be permitted through the conductor. Okay, the test for it. Okay, so heat run test is very easy. So that is two most important problems is coming from no load test and block load test. Okay, so next day I will discuss the no load test and block load test by some numerical, with some numerical. Okay, so today's class up to this much. Thank you for waiting for next day. That is class number 20. Okay, thank you.